the power of averaging down, especially right now, because a lot of these meme plays on SUI are kind of bleeding red today and yesterday, and a lot of them are falling off their like consolidated areas and falling from their all-time highs pretty far, which is totally normal. But what I want to get at here is the power of averaging down is like huge. So when people are panic selling, like look at this chart here. This is Suigma on SUI, which is a pretty fire one if you ask me. So it fell. Oops, it fell 90% almost. From like 760,000 market cap down to 76,000. That's a 10x down. So yeah, tons of people panic sold, right? Everyone started panic selling. But yeah, I averaged down. Like when I saw this falling like crazy, I started moving positions, selling off other positions, and then buying into this one. Just because I have conviction in this one, right? And I know it's going to bounce back up. So when it falls this far down, it's almost like a second opportunity to get in at launch. Like that's how I look at it. But the key is you got to have conviction, right? Or it's just going to mess with your head. And like you should have conviction on all your plays. So it's a good idea to start building that conviction. If you don't do that and you're just somebody who kind of invests and then like hopes and like prays, you know, that it's gonna fucking go, and usually it doesn't, right? When that's how you approach things. So but yeah, so I got into this one at 650,000 market cap. About, I'm not gonna go into it like super detailed and give you exact numbers because I didn't really look into it that much, but I know I got in at around 600,000 market cap. I have it written down over here. I put in 650, and literally when it dropped to that bottom there, like I had 650 bucks in here, and when it came down to here, it was like below $100 about, right? Or the value of it would have been. So when I saw this falling, I think I saw it when I saw it around here, I started to buy in because I just saw my position just vanishing, just disappearing so fast because it was falling so fast, right? And so far that my whole position was just going poof, gone, right? And instead of what I would have done like 3 years ago, I would have probably sold it at a loss here just to retain that remaining like $100 or $200 or whatever it was when I saw it. I would have panic sold along with everybody else here just to keep that money, and then I would have probably put it in something else, hoping that it would pump, right? And that one would probably fall too. So, because I was just hoping and like wishing and praying for these positions to work out, right? Because I didn't understand much back then, right? That was what, like 3 years ago. Yeah, I probably would have still done that. I understood a lot of stuff then, but I still couldn't stick to a lot of my plans and the knowledge I had just because of the human psychology behind all of this, right? And I would look at the charts for too long too, which really just messed with my head, and I'd start seeing all these different things that could happen, and I'd screw up so many of my positions because of it. But now I just gain conviction. Now I just gain conviction, and no matter what direction it goes in, I'm stoked, because if it goes down, I can just buy more. If it goes up, I'm winning, right? So yeah, and if it goes down and you buy more, the second it starts going back up, you're in profit. Well, not the second, but pretty soon after if you do it right. So what I want to get at here though is like I had 650 or whatever in here, around $600,000 market cap, and as it fell down here, I averaged all the way down to here, about $800. So yeah, so my position was like $100 worth, and then I added 800. Okay, so once it was at the very, very bottom, my position was worth about 800. So like my original position was almost gone. But that additional 800 I put in, and then the total invested is 1450. So when it goes back up to where it originally was at 600,000 market cap, it'll be worth $4,000, right? So the profit on that is $2,550. So that's why averaging down is so huge. Like you get exponential gains the second it pops back up to where you were, like exponential gains. So the 1,450 I've invested since it was up at 600,000 market cap. It had a huge sell off, 90% sell off. I put in another 800, so that's a total of 1,450. And then when it goes back up, it's worth $4,000, right? And the beauty about this is it already pumped a little bit, and now that it's pumped, I have, let's see, you can see this tiny pump here. When you look at it from back here, that looks like nothing, right? Because it was just up here the other day. This pump here 2x'd the position and more, 2x plus some. It went even farther. It went up to 230K. But you look at my position now, 1450. So I have literally my initial investment back. Like that's the whole value of my position is my initial. So now I'm no longer at a loss at all. So I lost my $650 position, and then I put in 800 bucks as it fell to the bottom, and very shortly after, boom, I have my initial back. Basically, I'm not going to sell it yet, obviously, but I'm not at a loss anymore. And you look at the chart, and we're still at the fucking bottom, right? So basically, I just scooped up a huge position because of this, how this thing fell, right? Instead of me panic selling. So I don't know. I just wanted to share that because a lot of people probably don't know how to do this and don't do this. Because I know I didn't when I started crypto. I didn't do this for, probably like 2 or 3 years until I discovered that averaging down is like huge, which is crazy looking back. Because like now it's just so obvious to me. But yeah. We all start somewhere, right? But here, I'll filter mine out here. So this is what my buys look like basically. So you can see up here, I might have even gotten a little above $600,000 market cap, but you can see I bought in up here, and when these two sells here, it was me moving money to other positions. So ignore those sells. But basically, my plan was to hold this, and I thought it would be going up because there's a lot of hype around it. And it just started falling. And as soon as it started falling, I just started buying down. And then at the bottom here, I always look for a divergence. So then I know it's going to start pumping back up. And like that's what happened. So I bought a bunch more because I saw this divergence here. You can see it's falling, right? And then you see the RSI is going with it, right? But then you look at this last section here. This starts going up. The RSI starts going up, but it's still going down here. That's a bullish divergence. So the second I saw that, I bought more. You can see these 3 buys here. Yeah, I put in like 200 bucks. I wanted to put in more, but I didn't have time to move money around and shit. So, but yeah, I threw in another 200 there, and then I put in bunch of buys here. Total is all up to like 800 bucks. And yeah, now I'm at break even right now. So, and you look at this, you zoom out, you look at this, like it's still at the fucking bottom, and now I'm at break even. So it's like my risk is way lower now. Risk is down. As long as I have conviction in this, the risk is down psychologically, you know, which will allow me to just chill and not worry about it as much now. Because like, yeah, I'm at the bottom, and like I kind of almost want it to go down more so I can scoop up even more. Like if this thing went down at freaking like $40,000 market cap, you know, that's like a what, 6x from here basically, 6x down. So it's like, yeah, think about those multiples that you could get. So That's why it's always important to have cash on the side too. Like they say 20 to 30% cash. Like that's what I try to do. Honestly, it's hard for me to do that. I always find myself having all my money in position, so I'll just rotate from like if I don't have cash on the side, I'll just rotate profits from other positions. But I'll never anymore, at least I try to never take out of positions that are not yet in profit, because I used to do that all the time, and that's just a dangerous game to play. Very dangerous game to play. Yeah. So yeah, now if this comes back up to where it was, yeah, it's gonna be like worth about $4,000 or whatever, and that's still very low. So once this thing goes up to like $6 million market cap, and I don't sell anything, it'll be worth $40,000, and I only put in 1,450 total. So think about that shit. You know what I mean? And if this didn't happen and I just left my old position and it went up to $6 million market cap, it'd be worth $6,000, right? Versus 40,000 now, if I hold it. So, yeah, just like huge numbers can be made when you see these falling prices, these panic sells. The falling knife is what some people call it. But yeah, all right. I don't know. Hopefully that helps some people. Farewell.